Caitlin and I pocketed $1.3 million, and I just want to come out and say that those charges are true.
Well, pack it up, boys. No need to continue this investigation. We've got a confession. For those of you who don't know what that was, allow me to enlighten you. That was Eli Regalado, a Colorado-based pastor and co-founder of the cryptocurrency index coin. He and his wife have now been sued by the Colorado Securities Commissioner and accused of scamming the Christian community in Colorado out of millions of dollars. So what exactly does confessing on video on the internet do for your case? Well, let's find out. Now, some or most of you may not have heard of index coin, so let's start with how this cryptocurrency even got on the market. According to the press release regarding the lawsuit, Eli Regalado, a pastor, and his wife Caitlin created, marketed, and sold a cryptocurrency known as the index coin to members of the Christian community. And investigators from Colorado Division of Securities found that from June of 2022 to April of 2023, index coin raised nearly $3.2 million from more than 300 individuals. Regalado targeted Christian communities in Denver and claimed that God told him directly that investors would become wealthy if they would just put money into index coin. And that was true for two of the people. The Regalados had no experience in cryptocurrency, which was clear when a third-party auditor's report allegedly described their index coin code as unsafe, unsecure, and riddled with serious technical problems. Despite that report, the Regalados allegedly continued to promote index coin as a low-risk, high-profit investment, also pleasing to God. So after concluding their investigation, the Colorado Securities Commissioner hit the Regalados, boom, 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 with 4 charges. The first, securities fraud, is something that you and I are all too familiar with. But for any newbies out there are both state and federal agencies that police fraud, dishonesty, and scams when it comes to securities. It's a minefield, and it should be, because there's an imbalance of information in these types of transactions, and it's bad for our economy if the markets are unregulated and cheating is not very illegal. Or at least that's the legal theory. The lawsuit then goes on to list the 26 ways in which the defendants either made an untrue statement of material fact or omitted material facts. Lies! Lies!
Shame! Shame!
Lies! 26 times! Oh my word. The second charge filed against the pastor is unlicensed activity broker-dealer. Now, this is charge, it's just about as straightforward as you think it would be. You must register as a broker or a dealer of securities with the Colorado Commission, or else you cannot lawfully fundraise or push securities like the pastor was allegedly doing. Oh wait, no. He said he was doing it. He confessed.
Those charges are true.
The reason they want you registered is so that they can stay on top of you, because things like this are not supposed to happen, and each state's SEC needs to know who they are supposed to be keeping their eyes on. The third charge, unregistered securities, is also exactly what you think. Index coin was not registered. Honestly, this is probably the least scammy part of the scam, because no one has been registering their cryptocurrencies as a security for the entire history of cryptocurrencies. And the problem with that is that these things are securities. And once again, the reason that they need to be registered as securities is the same reason that the broker-dealers need to be registered, so that the government agencies that enforce policing of these things know where they should be spending their resources watching to make sure that churchgoers, consumers are not taken advantage of. The last charge levied against our holy couple is the imposition of constructive trust, or equitable lien, which is a wonderful trip back to law school, because most normal lawsuits do not involve the creation of a constructive trust or an equitable lien, but every law student learns about these concepts in the second or third year of law school. Basically, a constructive trust is a way that a court says that, well, you might be the legal owner of an item or some money, but the way that you acquired it was unlawful, and for that reason, the court will pretend that you are merely a custodian of it for the benefit of someone else, in this instance, the people that you ripped off. And an equitable lien is almost identical, except there's a technical distinction in which the criminal or malfeasant is the owner legally, but the victim has a lien over the money. In a constructive trust, the real owner is actually the victim. These are legal remedies meant to bring value back into the hands of the victims, and they work. And probably the most interesting part of this entire story is Pastor Regalado's 9-minute response video posted to the Index Coin website, in which he tells his side of the story. And you're probably expecting Eli to have defended his actions or given a detailed explanation as to why investors are not able to retrieve their earnings and why it's all just really, a big misunderstanding. But instead, we got gems like this.
$200,000 went to a home remodel that the Lord told us to do.
And this?
I misheard God, and every one of you who prayed and came in, you as well.
And this?
God is going to work a miracle in the financial sector. He's going to bring a miracle into index coin.
The biggest defense strategy that we can really decipher is that Mr. Regalado only got into the crypto space because God ordained him to do so. But apparently, God hasn't shown him how to give people their money back. Well, maybe he's busy trying to find the developers who stole Logan Paul's CryptoZoo game. Now, if you're a subscriber and you watch my videos, first of all, I love you. And if you're not a subscriber, come on. Anyways, you know there's only one thing that I always preach. Hey, look at that. Eli and I are both preachers. Don't talk about your case on social media or your scam cryptocurrency's website. The more you say in public, the fewer options your lawyer has for getting you out of a jam every time. So the rule is pretty simple. It's shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Never talk about your case on social media. Except now, this Pastor Eli has convinced me that there is, or at least there might be, one exception. If you aren't supposed to be a scam artist, but you're currently acting as one because you're so dumb that you lack the epistemological uncertainty that's necessary to navigate the modern world, then you should go ahead and let her rip. I'm not kidding. Just come clean on social media. I mean, this is not legal advice. This is ethical advice. If you scam your flock, just admit it. The cover-up would be even more disgusting. If Eli hires a lawyer now, the lawyer should only charge him like $50 because the cat's out of the bag. The damage is done. The music has stopped. My man Eli needs to enter into an agreement called a consent judgment, post haste, in which he agrees to restore as much as humanly, nay, divinely possible to his victims. Knowing what he knows now, which is that he is a moron, he needs to agree to do everything in his and God's power to make things right. Can we linger for just a minute on God told me to do this? Because this doesn't work. It's not legally a defense, and it shouldn't be. Colorado cannot sue God. It cannot indict God. And also, it wasn't God. Allow me to quote just a couple of key verses to Brother Eli from his own Bible. From Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? Ouch! That's a little on the nose in this situation. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and have pierced themselves with many griefs. Ouch! Ouch! Wandered from the faith? Check. Can I get like a ding here? Pierced themselves with many griefs? Double check. Now, I've read the Bible. I've read the whole thing, and there's some crazy stuff in there. But you know what's not in there? No mention of building a cryptocurrency empire. No mention of subverting your position of trust in a church to scam people. There are no directions for emulating Logan Paul instead of the Apostle Paul. Brother Eli, he needs to start over. And I suppose we should give a shout out to the Colorado SEC because they're finally doing what needs to be done to one scammy crypto project. But I mean, come on, this is so small time. $3.2 million in over a year? That's less than one day's work at some other crypto scams that we've covered here on this channel. And these people aren't pursued by the government. It's great they're going after Eli, and it's a horrible thing that a pastor would scam people. But I do wish that the authorities would take on some bigger fish. Bigger shark. Mr. Regalado has now made his response video private, which means that on some level, he realized that he up. But the internet is forever, and we will most certainly be seeing his confession and explanation being used in court. Now, did he really think that this was gonna go away? He could just take the video down? I don't know. But what do you think of Eli Regalado's mission? How do you feel about God told me to do it being used as a legal argument? Drop your pro se opinion down below in the comments. I want to know what you think. Oh, and also, God told me that you should subscribe. Have now been sued in social media or your scram to. Oh no, that was all bad. Sorry.